Welcome to the Barack Obama approved world's greatest podcast, Hyphen Nation. I am your host, the one with the most. Never get ghost. Shout out to Ghost. Shout out to the other Ghost, Styles P. Y'all know me, Hickory Dickory. I like apples fresh off the tree. Y'all can't see. It is the one and only B. Hyphen in the house. I got a mouse in the house, but LeBron shot anyway. Y'all are not afraid. I can't let y'all get away. Kellen Conley, a.k.a. B hyphen. What up, though? Welcome back. Welcome back. Episode 205. Oh, so I'm just going to get right into it. Look. This is what happened. Okay? I took Aaliyah to a daughter dance. They call it a daughter dance because it used to be daddy-daughter dance, but just in case moms can't or dads can't go or there's no dad in the picture, then therefore, or maybe dad can't make it, let's say that, moms and grandmothers, grandfathers, all friends of fathers, uncles can bring the daughter to the dance, right? It was at Aaliyah's school. And so we get there, and Aaliyah immediately finds her friends and starts running around. She looked beautiful. We got some pictures. I still haven't gotten emailed those pictures, so I don't have my watch on. I got a brand new watch, y'all. I got it all Fat Kid Deals. Shout out to Fat Kid Deals. And Aaliyah's running around. We're there for about an hour and 45 minutes or so. It was a 2-hour dance. And so I get her some candy. I attempt to dance with her a little bit, try to get her to do the cha-cha slide, and the Cupid Shuffle came on way early because I don't know who was running music. I think somebody's running music off their phone into a PA system, and it sounded terrible, but the kids didn't care. They're all in elementary school. I didn't care because I was just there to spend time with Aaliyah. Shout out to everybody who brought their daughter out last night, man. It was really cool to see all the parents or whatever you may be being there for the daughters, and it was a real chill time. First time I had gotten to go since Aaliyah. God, last one we went to was in 2018, so Aaliyah wasn't in kindergarten yet. The one that happened in 2019, my man Gary ended up taking her because we didn't know when it was going to be, and then they scheduled it the weekend that me and Angel had plans to already be out of town. So Gary stepped in and took her. And in the last 2 years, it's been 3 years. It's been COVID, and I think they ended up canceling it for some reason last year. I don't know what was going on. But they did it this year, and it was really awesome. But they had concessions, and they had like $1 candy, $1 water, and 50-cent blow pops. So me and Aaliyah had gotten some blow pops, and I got her candy bar to start out. And then later, her and her friend Evelyn hit me up for another $2. And so that went to water and blow pops for them. So I was down to my last $1 because I had $5 on me going in. It's down to my last $1. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and have another blow pop. So I walk up to the concession table, and I give the people working the concession table, I give them 50 cents, give them $1, give me back 50 cents, and I give me an orange blow pop because I'd already had a grape one earlier. And I unwrap my candy, and now I hear there's some down there like, bro, if this is the floor, if you're looking at this on YouTube, follow me on YouTube, Hyphen Universe, subscribe, like the videos, comment, all that stuff. So if this is the floor and I'm up here at normal size, this little girl about yay high is saying something to me. I'm like, oh man, she must think I'm somebody she knows or something. So I lean down and she's like, blah, blah, blah. I thought maybe she was, I can't find my daddy, something like that. I was like, I was ready to be a hero. And she was watching me. She staked me out. She saw me pull that $1 from my back pocket and saw me buy a blow pop. And so she comes up to me, and she had said something I couldn't hear over the music. So I leaned down and I go, what did you say? And she goes, can you give me some money? My last 50 cents, y'all. So I look around and I don't see nobody with her because I was like maybe like somebody's close and they'll be like oh no baby I'll take you up to the table blah 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 and I ain't see nobody, so I was like I had no choice. Like there wasn't the option to not give her my 50 cents didn't cross my mind. It was fight or flight, and I wasn't going to do either. So the option was to just give her what she wanted. So I gave this little thief my last 50 cents. I was like, yeah, go ahead. And she walks up to the table and gets a blow pop, and then I don't see her the rest of the night. I got ran by a elementary school child. Like she couldn't have been more than kindergarten, first grade, man. And she was like, can I have some money? And who am I to say no? Who am I to say no? I wish I was making this up. Can I have some money? Yes, babe. Yes, absolutely. You may have some money. Please take all the money. So we had actually ended up meeting up with Angel and some of her teacher friends afterwards because they had a Valentine's Day at Angel School. So we all met up at Chili's later. And then I told her, I was like, yeah, the concessions were only so much and $5 was plenty. But then I got ran for my 50 cents. And so I keep telling everybody this little girl robbed me for my 50 cents. Can I have some money? Yeah. What? Just don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me, please. Please, little girl. I hope she enjoyed her blow pop, though. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I had to start like that. So I say all that to say this part of the show, Morgantown weather report. It is currently 37 degrees here in Little Seattle. Clear with periodic clouds. Feels like 37 degrees. Looks like it's going to be a clear night tonight. And temperatures will dip overnight, but then coming back up to 38 by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that is your Morgantown weather report. Brought to you by the Mark Rob, TheMarcRob.wordpress.com. Written by my beloved friend, the Mark Rob, Marcus Show Mad Love Robinson. He posted a piece about the whale. I mentioned it 2 episodes ago. It was really dope. He has all kinds of dope stuff up there. You could get lost on there for a couple hours if you need to. I'm particularly, one that comes to mind is his story about the time he took the bus to go see Kanye a while back now. So shout out to Mark Rob. And also by Hyphen Podcast Group, which I still don't, the excellence of audio execution. I know that, and it's like, what? Good people, good podcast. I can't remember the damn tagline. It's too convoluted. It used to just be bringing great podcasts to the people. I don't know why I changed it. Hyphen Podcast Group, bringing great podcasts to the people. HyphenPodcastGroup.com. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed last episode with Matt. I apologize for any of the audio issues. I have a whole video of that episode, and usually what I do, where's my Pixel? My trusty Pixel 2. It's not trusty because it won't even shoot in horizontal. So usually what I do is I will take the phone and plug in my microphone. I got a new microphone, and then hit record in the recording app and just let it go. But I was desperate to have video. So instead of me using my brain and just recording video and using this for the audio, where I could have had it easily, I decided I was going to plug in this one as well as my USB joint that I use for Rasslecast or Zoom calls or anything like that. I was going to do that, and then we were going to be on camera talking, which was a great idea. It was really cool to be able to sit back and look at each other and have that conversation, even though I had to hold my mic and just sit there and talk with my best friend. But then I got to the audio, and at first I was like, oh yeah, audio sounds good. But then I realized that because I turned his mic all the way up so that he wouldn't have to sit on top of his, it was picking me up over here. So there was a lot of bleed over. So that was the reason why the episode was delayed on coming out in the first place, was because of me trying to prevent the bleed over. Finally, I figured out something, and it was pretty serviceable. I went back and listened to the episode because one, I wanted to, because that's my boy. Even though I just sat through it, I just wanted to hear it again. And then two, because I just want to make sure the quality was good. And it was, I'll give it a C- quality, maybe even a D+. But it was loud and clear. You didn't miss anything. Some of the words that I said got lost sometimes, but the conversation was clear. So that was the main thing. So Matt's back in New Zealand. He left like Wednesday after we recorded that. And also, I haven't recorded since my surprise birthday party that Angel threw for me on my actual birthday, on my 40th birthday. That was very cool. So Matt and his wife Lisa and their two kids were there, and then I consider her my sister. Matt's sister was there, and her husband TJ and their kids were there, and then Matt's mom and Matt's stepdad and Matt's dad had all come out as well to see. They had come up with Crystal and them, so they were at the party. Then my brother-in-law Christian was at the party. Monster Lung, Eric Jordan was at the party. Anthony was at the party. Shout out to Anthony always. The dude I spend the most time with in real life. Shout out to Anthony. Thomas came through, which was really cool considering he works night shifts now. Who else was there? Who were we playing basketball with? So it was me, E. God, it was just everybody was there, man. It was so cool. Brandy was there. Brandy's boyfriend was there. He was there for a hot second. And then in comes my dad. Soul Daddy #1 himself, all the way from Cape and Bridge, 2-hour drive, comes strutting into the Starport, headed to the new Starport location here in Morgantown. I gotta say, I am a fan. I was a fan of the original Starport, but I really like the new place. It's on Walnut Street. Consider yourselves Hyphen Nation, Hyphen Universe, Kellen Conley endorsed. Pizza was delicious. They had some great craft beers, had a couple really delicious sours. They were amazing. Oh man, it was so cool. So cool. Ivy and BG and Will were there. I always get to hang out with them for Extra Life. They opened their home to me for 24 hours. They were there. So it was really cool. That was my first surprise party. Yeah. That was my first surprise party for real. And it was really special. But the icing was seeing Dad come in. That was just too dope to see him. That really made my day. So yeah, so I had a whole surprise party on Sunday, and then I didn't see Matt anymore after that, but he did some traveling to Charleston to see some of his wife's family, Lisa's family, and then they ended up heading back up north to go back to New York in whiteout conditions, because that was when East Coast got hit by some snow. They got there, they flew out. They were flying. They had already flown over Hawaii, but then all of a sudden they were going back towards Hawaii because apparently Auckland, where they were supposed to land, the airport got hit with Auckland itself got hit with a really bad storm, and there was like 3 feet of water in the airport. So they redirected them back to Honolulu and delayed them leaving again by a whole day. But then they put them up in one of the really nice resorts there for free. So they got a whole day in Hawaii before they had to fly back home to New Zealand. So Matt's home, and I really hope y'all appreciated that. He was very happy doing the podcast. He's already hit me up about how can we do it again. So it is totally doable. Of course, I don't have my watch right on me. I took it off because I was eating a little bit ago, and I kept doing this. So it's 2:08 p.m. in Wellington right now. So who's to say that maybe on a Saturday night I couldn't, because that would be his Sunday afternoon. I know he's got the kids and everything, but maybe we could coordinate it to possibly do the pod again and just do it over Zoom or something. That'd be really cool. So maybe in the future we will have Matt back on. But God, that was amazing having him on here finally. All these years, y'all hearing me talk about Matt, and then talking about Hip Hop Manifesto, which is available wherever podcasts are podcasted. You can listen to Hip Hop Manifesto. Like, for example, I'm going to use the power of the internet here. Podcast. This isn't podcasting 101. I'm going to go on Spotify where I listen to my podcast, and I'm going to type in hip hop manifesto. And I'm also going to type podcast. There we are. I got an Outcast photo, and it says hip hop manifesto. Two friends sit down and discuss what they have in common, a love of hip hop. And there are 13 episodes total. They're all available. I'll actually put that in the show links. Let me put write that down. HHMN show links. So if y'all want to check us out in the past, I apologize for anything inappropriate I might say, because these are the raw, uncut days of Kellen Conley. So it is what it is. Yeah, but there are 13 episodes. Like I said, the last one we did was it says 2015 on it, but we could have, I don't know when we actually recorded that one. Yeah, it says May 2015, but we might have even recorded that in, what had happened was in 12 and 13, I recorded a bunch of podcasts with people, and then they asked me to edit them, and then I just didn't edit them, and I sat on them forever. And so, yeah, there was this long gap where I was sitting on all this material, and I just never really released it. So I'm not sure when we really recorded that, but the last episode was released in 2015. And the last episode was Why Hip Hop Still. And then the Kanye West Crazy episode was episode 12. So I'll put that in the show links, show notes, so you can check that out. So that would be pretty nifty of you if you want to do that. So let me go ahead, and I got that up. What did I do with, let's do some quick recommendations. Y'all. So last weekend, reason I didn't get an episode out was I went to Columbus. Aaliyah had a meet on Friday night. So we had left Thursday night. I didn't record last Tuesday, which would have been my best chance at recording. I wasn't thinking. So I didn't have an episode ready. Went to Columbus on Thursday night, and we were there until Sunday afternoon. On Saturday morning, night after the meet, not even Saturday morning, like maybe around, it was 1 something. We had just came back from this place called Super Chefs in Columbus. Very good food. Check them out. Yeah, I want to try their full menu. I did a whole review on Google Maps, man. If you see Kellen Conley on Google Maps, I take my job very seriously on there. I am thorough, and I will tell you what I think about your establishment. Okay? It is what it is. Like, I went to Charlie's in Erie not that long ago, and I ordered something. I was really excited about getting some catfish, and that catfish wasn't good. And I was like, oh man, I was really excited about this, and the shrimp was good, but then the catfish wasn't, and blah blah blah. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry, and if you hit us let us know. We'll send you something because I didn't like trash them. I just said that catfish wasn't what I was looking for, so I gave them like a it's okay rating, like a 3-star on there. So I take my reviews very seriously. So Super Chefs is dope. Angel came back, and we had gotten in really late from the meet, so she decided she was going to lay down. I just went downstairs because Maureen and Rue, who we're staying with, they have a young daughter. She just turned 1 not that long ago, and her nap time is like between 1 and 3. So she was laying down. So I come downstairs, and they had on BMF, and Rue was like, oh, you watch whatever you want to watch. I'm like, no, just leave this on. Like, I'm fine. I'll just look at my phone, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, this is BMF, and you should start watching. It's really good. And E has also been on me to start watching BMF. He asked me like twice now if I watch BMF, and I told him no. He's like, you need to be watching BMF. But I've never watched any of the Stars, Power, any of the 50 Cent shows. So BMF is my first true exposure, right? So anyway, BMF, so when I started looking at it, and I'm starting getting into it, and then he's like, oh, you got to watch the whole episode. I was like, or start from the very beginning. I was like, no, just let this run. Like, don't let me interrupt you so you can start the whole series over. Don't do that. And he's like, all right. So we finished watching the episode, and by the end of the episode, I was like, yeah, I'm going to start watching BMF for sure. Definitely going to start watching BMF. So he was, oh, well, let's just start from the beginning. So he went all the way back. He didn't go season 1. He went to the beginning of season 2. So we watched, like, the episodes aren't that long. They're like 30 minutes to, not even, about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And so we watched the first 2 episodes, I think, on Saturday, and then their daughter woke up, so we turned it off, everything like that. Oh, I have a little rant that I'm going to do here in a second as well, now that I think about it. But I've been watching BMF. I just caught up, so I'm current on season 2. I need to go back and watch season 1. Apparently, they didn't do an episode this week, so now I have another week off because there's only 8 episodes in episode 1, or season 1, so I'm gonna start watching BMF. But I like BMF, man. I usually get really into those kind of crime shows, especially of the drug dealing variety. I am a Wire alum, and I mentioned to Rue, I was like, yeah, it's hard for me to get into these shows because I compare everything to The Wire. I was like, but this is actually really good. He's like, yeah, it's not The Wire, but it is good. He's like, I like Power, but eventually Power got a little too nuts for me, but I really like how tight BMF is and everything like that. So, totally recommend BMF if you're not watching that. It's on Stars. If you can watch it on your Fire Stick through Prime Video. That's what I did. I have a Stars subscription right now because Stars keep doing these deals where they give you like 2-3 months for like $1.99 a pop. So I keep doing that. But now, as long as BMF's on, I'm going to have to at least keep Stars. I don't even know when Stars cancels out. So when it goes back to full price. But I might be hanging on to that for a little bit. So shout out to BMF. Also, I checked out 2 artists that I hadn't heard before. I went back to my currently playlist, which is like just a list of albums that I had thrown in the playlist so that I could start listening to them and kind of listen to them in order. And I got away from it a lot last year, so I started getting back into it this year. And I listened to an artist named Kevin Ross, and he's really dope. I listened to his I didn't want to do podcast 101. Hold on. It was Kevin Ross, and it was like a full Kevin Bruce. Kevin Ross albums. Audacity Complete. I listened to the Audacity Complete, which came out in 2020, and I am a fan of the dude. I followed him on Spotify, and I was very impressed. So I recommend Kevin Ross, and I recommend Audacity Complete. I let Anthony know about it, and Anthony was a fan as well. So that Audacity Complete album is very dope. I cannot recommend that enough. And then also someone who was in my playlist was Abby Jasmine, who I had no clue about. I don't know if I got these from TikTok or whatnot. I'd say probably TikTok recommended these new R&B artists and stuff. So Who Cares Deluxe, which came out in 2020, that thing is really good too, man. She's bad. She's bad, and I mean like Michael Jackson bad, man. Like, she's good. I like her a lot, and I like Kevin Ross a lot. So I recommend both of those to you guys. So you can check those out if you're not up on game already. Unlike me, you're not still listening to 90s music or 80s music or 2000s music all the time, or 2010s music, and you probably have already heard of most of these people. So my rant, real quick. We, meaning me, Maureen, Angel, and Rue, decided while our kids, because Aaliyah's best friend is their oldest daughter, so they were downstairs in the basement playing and tumbling and everything else. So Saturday night after the baby went to bed, we were looking for something to watch, and Angel had started watching this Netflix show, Uncoupled, when me and Rue came back with our food, because we went out in Columbus to get food, and it took us like 2 hours. We went to a bunch of different African places. We got Senegalese food. Oh, it was so good. And also some I can't even tell you, but it was also good. They gave us this fish that we weren't supposed to have, but that fish was banging, man. Ugh, so good. Sorry, but Angel's watching Uncoupled, and Uncoupled stars Neil Patrick Harris in what I believe is his first role as a gay man, and in real life he is gay. And then also Tisha Campbell, Martin. Shout out to Tisha Campbell, man. I've been in love since House Party days, and of course Martin and Sprung. Yes, Sprung. And I didn't know the premise. I saw a trailer on Netflix. I was like, yeah, I want to check that out. I like Neil Patrick Harris. I like Tisha Campbell Martin. I want to check this out. And it's actually a really good series. It's a comedy, and real quick premise is Neil Patrick Harris is with his boyfriend for 17 years, and his boyfriend just decides out of nowhere to leave him at his surprise birthday party. It was the boyfriend's surprise birthday party. It might not have been surprise. At his birthday party, tells him he's leaving, and he just up and leaves. And so this is Neil Patrick Harris with his two best friends, including his partner, who is Tisha Campbell Martin, trying to figure out how to get back into dating, why this happened, and just all these funny scenarios happen going forward. And so we watch all the episodes other than two. I think we had 2 episodes left on Saturday night. And so Sunday morning, I'm Googling and I'm Googling. I'm not on Twitter. Just to see what people have thought about the show. And Netflix already canceled it. Netflix completely ixnayed it, man. Like, it's gone. Like, Netflix did the same thing to Friends from College. Friends from College got 2 seasons and then gone. Ended on a cliffhanger. And Uncoupled also ended on a cliffhanger, which is completely uncalled for. Oh! Wait a minute! Uncoupled pickup for Showtime for season 2 following Netflix cancellation. Yes! Never mind. Hell yeah, brother. Okay. We're getting season 2. Shout out to Showtime, man. I gotta text them. I gotta let everybody know that we'll be able to finish watching Uncoupled. Cause I told Angel after we finished the last episode, they canceled it. She's like, "Oh, are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, they canceled it." And now I can sit here and tell them, because I didn't tell them it was canceled, but I can just text this to them in case they knew it got canceled, and now they know it didn't get canceled. So, big 2 thumbs down to Netflix for canceling shows way too soon, even if they find an audience. I get that they have metrics, and if it's not in the top 10 for so long, that they don't give shows a chance, and they make so many original stuff. I get the justifications, but they all suck. Shout out to Showtime, man. That was my rant, though. So, yeah, we got Uncoupled in there. Shoot. Also, 111 days until Across the Spider-Verse is in theaters. I missed the trailer today, and I was a little upset. I came in, I said, "Oh, we missed the trailer," and then I realized there's actually a lot of people in the movie. So I was like, "Oh, my bad." Oh, shoot. I guess this is the first topic. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Yeah, man. So, earlier this week, or maybe late last week, Angel mentioned that she was going to take her homebound student and Aaliyah to see the new Puss in Boots movie. And she's like, "Yeah, we're going to do this on Saturday, so it'll be good for you can kind of just chill out and relax, not have to worry about anything." And I was like, all right, that's cool. And then she mentioned it again not that long ago. Hold on. I'm looking here. Hold up. Wait a minute. Because Kat from We Should Do This Again Sometime fame is the one who said something about it. Yeah. She said at 8:30 on, what day was that? February 4th. She said it last Saturday, in fact. She said, "Please, friends, watch Puss in Boots and The Last Wish when you can." And I said I might go next Saturday with the girls, because Angel had said, if you want to go with us to the movies, you can. Otherwise, you can just take it easy. So when she mentioned it again this week, I was like, I actually heard it was pretty good, so I might go. And then magic happened. So Tuesday, I decided, because I have the window, I come home, Angel's at homebound, and then I don't have to pick up Aaliyah, leave the house to get Aaliyah until 7:45. So I have a window. So Tuesday, I was like, all right, I'm just going to take it easy. I'm still tired from the trip. I'm not going to do too much. Just hang out. I'm going to make me this Bloody Mary, which was excellent. Excellent Bloody Mary. One of the best Bloody Marys I ever made in my life. And then just chill. And then Thursday, I'm going to get after for the podcast. Thursday, I got off work a little bit later than I was supposed to. So that meant everything got pushed back a little later. So by the time I had eaten and really got kind of gotten relaxed where I could chill for a little bit. And I was like, dang, it's already like it's late. Like I'm not going to have that much time. And then I just wasn't really motivated because I'd had a long day. So I was like, oh man, like I'm just going to not. I don't want to force it. I don't want to rush it. So I'm not going to rush it. I'm just going to let it go and see if I can figure it out later. So then I was debating, do I still go to the movie or do I stay home and definitely do the podcast while they're gone on Saturday? But then some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers, because at the daughter dance last night, one of the people in charge of the dance is another one of Aaliyah's best friends, mom. Also the mom who Aaliyah will go to her house quite often and sleep over and spend time with her daughter. Her daughters, actually. And I'd say like last year, Aaliyah slept over like maybe 2 or 3 times last year. And then her daughter slept over here about the same. Maybe twice. Let's say that she did more. But the girls pulled us together. So it was her and her husband and me and then the girls. And they're like, we will have a sleepover sooner. Now, I knew Angel had mentioned that on the Sunday night before President's Day, because we're all off. She was going to let the girls have a sleepover at our house because the girls were off and we were all off. But I guess they want to have their sleepover sooner. So they cornered us and we have a sleepover sooner. So I was like, well, like, I was like, I don't think we can. Being the responsible dad, I was like, I don't think we can. It's kind of short notice. Blah blah blah. And then Stacy says, "Well, you can do it at our house." I didn't mean to. I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, like for real. I mean, if you want to, like, we'll have to talk to Angel and everything, because Angel's at the dance." And she's like, "Yeah, you can do it at our house." And I was like, "All right, well, we'll talk later and figure everything out." So, so this morning, I get a text from Stacy, and Stacy's like, "Hey, Leah's more than welcome to come to the house." So, went to work, got off work, came home, changed clothes, took Aaliyah to the movies to meet up with Angel and her homebound student. We watched Puss in Boots, brought Aaliyah back home to get all her stuff ready. Then I drove her 3 seconds up the street to Stacy and her husband's house. And Leah's been there since 5. So, and Angel went to a birthday party. So here I am doing the thing for you. Okay. But that's how we got here. Anyway, Puss in Boots. I heard it was good. Spoiler free. Okay. I'm just going to kind of give y'all the outline. Y'all know Puss in Boots from Shrek 2 or Shrek 3 or Shrek 4, Forever After, anything like that. If we're ranking Shrek movies real quick, I still got the OG as number 1, Shrek 2, and then Shrek 4, followed by Shrek 3. Shrek 3 is my least favorite. Always thought Puss was a cool character. Didn't think too much of him as far as anything else, like past the Shrek movies. I knew he had a previous movie, and I may have seen a little bit of it, and maybe some of the Netflix series at one point. Aaliyah was watching it, but still, I was just like, oh yeah, it's Puss in Boots, whatever, no big deal. But after Kat said, please go see it, I was like, all right, if Kat's into it, then I'm going to be into it. Because I actually hit up Kat earlier this week. I was like, hey, what do you think about Lemony Snicket? And she's like, oh, the books or the movie? I was like, oh, the series. Because ironically enough, Leah decided to start watching Lemony Snicket a week or so ago on Netflix. And every time I watched it, I was just like, yo, this whole thing is crazy. I love it. I was like, I needed an honest opinion on this. So I was like, I bet Kat knows something about Lemony Snicket. And she's like, I recommend it to my adult friends who are trying to get back in reading. I recommend Lemony Snicket. And I think it's really, really awesome. Everything like that. So I knew I was on the right track. So Kat told me to go watch it. I was able to go with the girls. I didn't have to record earlier and skip it. So went to go see Puss in Boots, right? And I was pleasantly surprised, man. I really thought it was going to be, I thought it was like a Christmas movie because it's called The Last Wish, and I think it came out around Christmas, if I'm not wrong. But it had nothing to do with Christmas. But essentially, the plot goes that Puss in Boots, played by Antonio Banderas, he's up to his Puss in Boots ways like normal, and then something happens to him. And then after that happens to him, he is confronted by this wolf, and he comes face to face with his own mortality, essentially. And so we essentially see Puss lose his nerve and he goes live with a cat lady. But then he tries to get his groove back. He meets up with Kitty Softpaws, played by Selma Hayek, Penalt. If that's not correct, Selma Hayek. Shout out to you, Selma Hayek. You certified baddie. And at the cat lady's house, he met a little dog named Perito, who was pretending to be a cat, who was an orphan. And then they have to go steal this map, and they got to go steal the map from, I'm not going to say who to steal the map from, but they go to steal the map, and then they run into Goldilocks and the Three Bears, which is one of the best things the Shrek franchise has done, is how they reimagine these fairy tale characters. And the usage of all the fairy tale characters in this film is amazing. Absolutely amazing, man. But they all go on this quest to find this thing, and I was really impressed. I gotta send a special shout out to, I hope I'm saying this correctly. Hold on, Wagner Mora as the wolf, bro. I was shook. I was shook, man. Like, I'm really impressed with his design and his character. Like, the wolf might be one of my favorite characters to come out, like villain characters that I've seen in a long time, man. Especially in a children's format. Like, I had went to go see that crazy Pinocchio movie in the 80s, the whatever the not Disney version was, where the kids were getting turned into donkeys and stuff. I was so shook by that I had to leave the movie theater, and I've never watched that movie again to this day. I did watch the clips eventually on YouTube, but I was shook by those scenes, and I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, yo, like this bothers me. Like, I don't like Leah's kind of into horror stuff, and she knows it's not real. She does really well with that kind of thing. But I was like, this is a little much, man. Just a little much. I was a little shooketh, as they say. So I absolutely loved the wolf. I loved how they spun the Three Bears and Goldilocks and the storyline that they gave them. The secondary villain of the film, he gave me big Donald vibes. But he was also very threatening with his bag of never-ending fairy tale gimmicks. That was cool. Also, the movie didn't shy away from knowing that it had an adult audience, because there at one point Boots looks at Perito and says, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." But then there's multiple bleeps in the movie, including a scene where Perito is roasting the bears, and he tears down I believe it was Baby Bear. He tears Baby Bear down, man. And the bleeps were all there, and there's several laugh out loud moments. I was the loudest one laughing in the movie theater. And it was a really fun ride. And one of the best parts for me in the opening sequence, Puss is fighting this foe that has spoiled his party that he's having, right? He's fighting his foe. And then when they're doing the animation for the actual fight scenes, I was like, okay, this doesn't look like the traditional Shrek animation. Like, it did up until that point, but when they went into the action, it gave Spider-Verse vibes. And I was like, yo, they got that from Spider-Verse. A lot of the animation reminded me of Spider-Verse. And I've already said 111 days till Spider-Verse. So I'm here for it. I am here for it. Absolutely, man. So all the action scenes had that vibe to it. Very well animated. All the voice acting was on point. The jokes were funny. I don't know if there was a end credit joke or anything like that. Let me check the plot real quick. Okay. No, I don't see anything about an end credit scene or anything. It is a DreamWorks movie, but it worked really well. And plus, I'll go ahead and spoil this. I'm gonna give y'all 14 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, skip 30 seconds ahead. Also, at the end, they say they're going to go visit some old friends, and they're sailing to far, far away. So does that mean we're going to get Shrek 5? I'm down to go watch Shrek 5. Why not? If we're going back to a DreamWorks, if we're going to get more Shrek movies, like why not? Like didn't Cameron Diaz just come out of retirement? Like she can bust out some Fiona for us. This is just voice work. Mike Myers is always down to clown. Eddie Murphy will definitely take that check. I saw you people. He'll definitely take that check. So yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Shoot. But highly recommend Puss in Boots, man. On Letterbox, I think I'm going to go 4.5. I don't think I want to go full 5, but for a strong 4.5. Great story, great pacing, great action, great character moments, great voice work. Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5 on Letterbox. So I'll probably post that either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I recommend you go see Puss in Boots. And if you don't want to see Puss in Boots in the theater, you can rent it for like $25 on Prime right now, or you can buy the whole thing for $30, and then you'll own it. So absolutely, 100%. Cat was right. Go check that out. Excuse me. Water break. This episode's brought to you by my bottle of water. Which I need after I ate all that popcorn. Because somebody, shout out to Maggie and them, got me a $100 AMC gift card for my birthday. So after we spent the money on the tickets to get in today, I was like, yo, I can get me one of those annual buckets. Because I did that in 2021. And I know I'm going to go to the movies a lot this year. Like, there's a couple Marvel movies coming out. Creed 3 comes out next month. I just feel like I'm going to be in the theaters, if not every single month, at least every other month. So I got me an annual popcorn bucket, and I ate a lot of that popcorn. I shared it with the girls, but I ate a lot of popcorn, man. A lot of popcorn. Oh, shoot. I'd say our last topics, which I had to spin a wheel for because I was so torn and know Natalie and Bruglia about what to cover, because I've been wanting to cover this album I'm about to cover, but then the other day at work, I threw in the 2020 Experience Part 1 CD again it's like the second time I got to listen to the whole thing at work since we stole the CDs back from the other branch. And I was like, man, I really want to talk about this. I got it written down right there on my notes, my notepad right there. But we're here, ladies and gentlemen, to give praise for the music section of Hyphenation. So Wyclef Jean presents the Carnival featuring the Refugee All-Stars. Released on, oh snap, it came out on Angel's birthday. That's nuts. June 24th, 1997. Dart, if you're listening to this and you check that release date and it's wrong, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dart. I'm going by Wikipedia. It may have come out sooner or later. I got this CD off of Matthew Spencer, and I went home and taped it because I really like the song We Trying to Stay Alive, which of course is the Bee Gees flip. And also by that time, I want to say Guantanamera was out. Maybe even, well, let's look at the singles. The singles were Trying to Stay Alive, anything. Yeah, Guantanamera came out first. So I don't think I'd heard, I don't think Gone Till November had blown up. And when I say Gone Till November blew up, like, this song was everywhere on MTV and VH1 and BET. It was Diddy ridiculous levels, Puff Daddy levels. Like, every time there was any kind of rap show, R&B show, they would play that Gone to November. Every time I make a run, girl, you turn around and cry. Like, they would play that. And then we dropped the remix with Cannabis on it, which is really dope. That remix is pretty dope. I mean, that was all over BET. Like, MTV rarely ran it, even on Hip Hop Jams, on MTV Jams. But BET stayed playing that joint. So I taped the album. It was clean. It was a Walmart. It was a clean version. But honestly, even the clean version compared to the dirty version, there's not that much difference. Other than like on the real hard rap songs, on the real rap songs, there's some stuff taken out. But this whole album is it's one of my favorite hip hop albums of all time. Like, if this is what I would strive for a B hyphen album to be. This eclectic, not to steal the album of his second title, the eclectic, and no, not what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you know, you know. This album, from the skits all the way to the final song, which would be, these are bonuses, which would be Carnival, which is when he really leaned into his Caribbean roots. The last 3 songs is when he's just like, I'm gonna get real Caribbean with it, and he pulls it off. It's amazing. This album is 24 songs long. Original runtime was 73 minutes 51 seconds. Okay. So back when albums could have skits, this one did it right. Everyone was funny. You had Wyclef. You had Pablo. My name is Pablo Diablo. Down low ho. Words of wisdom. Like, every interlude just hits so good. Killer MC, I forgot about that one. Oh shoot, closing argument. Like, the skits are so good. The skits are so good on this album. Okay. All right, some favorite songs from the album that are not singles. Okay, one is a single. I'm sorry, 2 are singles. Okay, some are singles. Leave me alone. Apocalypse 1, 2. The headline news just broke through. Apocalypse 3, 4. Soldier, 100 horsemen at your door. Apocalypse 1, 2, y'all. 1, 2, y'all. 1, 2. Arrival at the Carnival. New beats, it's never recycled. If this is what makes me so angry about Clef's career after this. Clef made a very hip hop album. It was a blend of everything. It showed he could sing. It showed he could produce, which I'm sure he produced a lot of the Fuji stuff as well, but his fingers are all over this album. Singing, rapping, the features are insane on this. Apocalypse, Fire, Guantanamera, and Lauren came through and ripped it. This is right before the split. This might be one of those things where it's vivid in my memory, but I might have imagined it. But there was a show on MTV that was live with Wyclef, right? And I'm pretty sure I've Googled it and I've found mentions of it, but I can't find video of it. But it is Wyclef and the Refugee All-Stars performing songs from this, including some Fuji songs. And this is like, would have been late 97, probably late 97. So this is before Lauren really stopped messing with Clef, okay? And it was so good, and I've never seen it again. If anybody has that video, let me know, man. That joint went so hard. Bubble Goose. Sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a hustler around my way who used a Glock around the block from where my grandma stay. Black BMW with rims to match, windows bulletproof. One night he jumped out the car and caught a bullet in his bubble goo. How do you make a song about somebody getting shot in your hood sound so freaking melodic? To all the girls I cheated on before, it's a new year. I got a new change of gear. I swear, I can see clear now the clouds disappeared. You forgive. Ugh. So good. Anything can happen. Very dope. Gone to November. Beautiful. Got overplayed. Still a beautiful song. Year of the Dragon is just Lauren spazzing with Clef for 4 minutes. It's so good. And then gross. And then had some food stuck in my mouth. Sang Fizi is right after that, and it's just Lauren and Clef doing amazing music together. It's so good. One of the most slept on songs of the album, Mona Lisa, featuring the Neville Brothers. This song is just a 4-minute and 30-second R&B song in the middle of the album. Clef doesn't do anything except ad-libs and do some He just lets the Neville Brothers wail all over this. It's amazing. Street Jeopardy, John Forte, ROC. Shout out to my man ROC, man. I would love to hear that album, man. Oh, he's from Detroit. Of course he is. Of course he is. No way. No way, man. Oh, wait, this is a different ROC. Okay, this is a different ROC. I'm thinking about the So Def ROC. This is, okay. I don't know. Maybe not. But Street Jeopardy, John Forte, Wyclef, and it says ROC. It might have been the So Def ROC. The one that was on The Party Continues. Or not The Party Continues. The one that had Keith Sweat on it. Coming Home With Me. Yeah. Off of Life in 1472, which we will talk about some Life in 1472 at some point. Gunpowder, more Lauren, more Clef magic, which is really funny considering it's the last time we really heard them work together outside of that failed Fugees reunion in 2006. What was it? Take It Easy, and of course they did the Block Party reunion. And then track 21, he has the Enter the Carnival interlude, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to do music from my roots for the rest of this album." And it's flawless. On top of that, man, imagine around this time that he makes an album like this. It's widely loved. He's blown up in the mainstream. He's getting more notice as a songwriter and producer, along with his producer partner, Jerry Wonder. He is signed Cannabis. He's working on Cannabis's debut album. And then The Ripper Strikes Back comes out. And all of a sudden, LL's mentioning his name. So what does Clef do? What does Wyclef do? You know what Wyclef does. He releases What's Clef, the LL Cool J diss, featuring Naomi Campbell on the song to diss him back. Produced by Salaam Remi, man. That's how much of a that's where Clef was at that time. He's like, I'm gonna go with LL, one of the best battle rappers of all time. I'm gonna go back at him. It wasn't the best diss, but he tried. But this album was really so perfect that if I'd known better, I would have known that anything he did past this would not compare to this album. So eagerly in 2000, I snatched up The Eclectic, Two Sides to a Book. I was like, oh man, Wyclef's got a new album out, man. It's gonna be real dope. First single, It Doesn't Matter, featuring Dwayne Johnson. 911 with Mary J. Blige. Certified Hood Classic. Beautiful. Besides that, what worked on this album for me? The Kenny Rogers Pharoah Monch dub plate was pretty cool. How they did Simon Says with Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. That was pretty cool. And then I'm looking, man. And he did a Whitney Houston dub play that had Whitney on there because he produced Your Love Is My Love. So he got Whitney on his album. Man. None of this hit for me. So to see Clef achieve such heights that was so unexpected and then see him fall back down to earth like this was rough. And then he dropped The Masquerade in 2002. So I was like, all right, he's going to get it together. Plus his lead single was PJs, and that song was pretty hard. PJs, I was raised in the PJs. That joint was pretty good. But the Masquerade, it wasn't what I wanted it to be, man. So I started to give up. And apparently Columbia did too, because they dropped his greatest hits in 2003. Preacher's Son, that came out in 2003. Party to Damascus is on there. Miss me with that. Welcome to Haiti. Miss me with that. Carnival 2, Memoirs of an Immigrant. I was like, oh, we're getting another Carnival. Little did I know that a sequel in hip-hop usually doesn't work other than Cuban Links too. And yeah, I was immediately, I mean, that had Sweetest Girl with Akon and Lil Wayne on it. Still missing Clef. Yeah. But after that, there was never any Clef music that really did it for me like that. Oh, he did a Carnival 3. He did. In 2018. Why, Clef? Why? See what I did there? Why, Clef? Why? But when the Carnival was out, it is one of the most criminally underrated albums in hip-hop's history. It touched on so many different surfaces. Wyclef showed he could rap. He showed he could produce. He showed he could songwrite. He showed he could collaborate with people and bring the best out of them. If there was ever an album resume, the Carnival would be it. So, thank you, Mr. Jean. Thank you, Mr. Jean, for that album. It still hits to this day. Go press play. Cheer. You've been listening to the Barack Obama approved World's Greatest Podcast, Hyphen Nation. The 205th episode. You can listen to this on any podcast listening device you want to. If you want to be one of those people who have something where maybe you want to be one of those people, it's like, I'd rather just take the RSS feed and plug it into my iTunes, and I'm going to put it on my computer, and I'm going to do it like that. Okay, if that's you, you get the RSS feed link. You can find it very easily. You take that, you put that into your favorite podcast listening device, turn that sumbitch sideways, and you can get all 205 episodes of power of the Barack Obama approved World's Greatest Podcast, just like that. But it's easier to just use a podcast listening to platform. It really is. If you have a favorite platform and you can't find Hyphen Nation, or We Should Do This Again Sometime, or Rasslecast Power Hour, or Shredhead Podcast, or Howard's or Buzzsaw Show, if you can't find any of that, then you can let me know. It's very easy to do. You can reach out to me in the following ways. At B-Hyphen on Twitter, BHYPHEN, Hyphen Universe on Facebook, or the B-Hyphen on Instagram, or B-Hyphen at gmail.com. If you want to email Hyphen Podcast Group at gmail.com, you can, or you can go through Hyphen Pie Group on Twitter, Hyphen Podcast Group on Facebook, or Hyphen Podcast Group on Instagram. And you can let me know, or you can just say, hey, your shows are dope. You could do that too. Meanwhile, if you're on a platform like Apple or Spotify and they have a rating system, go ahead and give the show 5 stars. It lets more people know about the show, and they can listen to the sound of my voice just like you are right now. Greatly appreciate it. If you leave a review, I will be sure to read it, good or bad. I do not care. But still give me 5 stars. I care about that part. That would be cool. The power of positivity is real. Get that negativity out of your life, no matter what it may be, no matter what you have to do. You have to do you. Always, every single time. And when I say that, make sure you're giving people their flowers while they're still here. You never know when it's their time to go. It's always important to tell people how much they mean to you. That's what I did in the last episode with Matt, and told him everything I thought about him. Tell people how much they mean to you. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow or 10 minutes from now. For real, for real. I promise. Also, call your mom, call your dad, call your sister, call your brother, call your uncle, call your brother or aunt, call your grandmother, call your grandfather, call your second cousin on your mother's side related to your father through marriage. Do all that. Stay in touch, man. Even if it's not a call, send a text, send a Facebook message, write a letter, send an email, send a telegram. There's so many ways to reach out and touch someone. Shout out to AT&T. I think that was AT&T. So many ways. Let people know, man. Don't be like your boy who didn't talk to his mother towards the end of her life because I had to make a decision. And then I found out that she had cancer too late, and then she was gone. Don't be like your boy, okay? I regret it. I don't regret the decisions I had to make. I wrote a whole post about it. Oh, speaking of posts, hyphenuniverse.com. You can go check that out, and you can read my post. I do a little blog post on there, too. Also, any podcasts or videos I do get posted on there as well. You can go check that out. If you're on the TikTok, the B Hyphen over there. If you're on YouTube, Hyphen Universe. Subscribe to the channel. If you hit that bell, you never miss an upload. If you want to like the videos and leave comments and then share them with your friends, that would be really cool too. I got some good stuff on there. I've been taking a little bit of a break still. Dealing with Mom's birthday and my birthday and everything else, and Matt being here, and just trying to get back in the swing of things. But I got some good content. I got more good content going on there. Got Rasslecast stuff on there also. But the newsletter can be found at b-substack.com. That's called It's Not Going to Write Itself. I try to write pretty regularly on there, just about a random topic. Last topic I talked about my mom's birthday. I wrote an open letter to her. Before that, I wrote about Derek Carr leaving the Raiders and him being the quarterback that had been the longest tenured quarterback in Raiders history in my lifetime. So go subscribe to that, and then you'll get the get my writing right in your inbox, or you can just check out the links when I drop them on social media. You can do it just like that. Man. Again, shout out to themarkrob.wordpress.com and to hyphenpodcastgroup.com. Always and forever. Always and forever. Forever with you. I'm so happy Uncoupled is coming back. That's very cool. Very cool. So, yeah. Abby Jasmine, Kevin Ross. Go check them out. Go see that movie, Puss in Boots. Also, would not hurt for you to check out BMF if you're into that kind of stuff. I think I might have to sit down and talk about 50 Cent at some point too, man. Because I'm revisiting Get Rich or Die Trying because it's the 20th anniversary of that. And I ended up kind of going into a YouTube wormhole and finding all these unreleased tracks of his that were on the mixtapes and stuff. And I might have to have a little conversation about 50 Cent's position in all this, especially now that he's doing BMF stuff and making TV money and doesn't necessarily have to rap anymore. I might have to talk about a little bit of 50 Cent. So let me know. Let me know what you think, man, if you'd like to hear that. But for real, I appreciate each and every one of y'all that are here. I found some hair on my pants and I was playing with it. I apologize. Appreciate each and every one of y'all listening to the sound of my voice. It means the world to me. I'm so glad to be able to sit here with y'all and do episodes like this. This is what Hyphen Nation's all about, man. It is about me sharing my thoughts into the great void and hopefully somebody getting something out of it. So I appreciate every last one of you. I really do. I still haven't picked my wrestler of the year last year, and normally I do that by now. I want to say it was Sammy. It's hard not to say it was Sammy, but it was more for his work with the Bloodline all last year and how he went from wrestling Johnny Knoxville last WrestleMania to being so over with the Bloodline, a heel faction, by December of last year. So let's just call a spade, man. Sami Zayn is my 2022 Wrestler of the Year, officially. He's got a match coming up with Roman here at Elimination Chamber. We'll see what happens with that story. Him and Jey Uso saw each other for the first time on SmackDown the other night, and everything seemed cool between them. Roman wants to rip Sami's head off. So we will see what happens with the Bloodline at Elimination Chamber. I'm really excited. Excited for that match to see where that goes, especially with Cody lined up to wrestle Roman at WrestleMania anyway. So just no triple threats. But yeah, Sammy's my Wrestler of the Year. Let's go ahead and throw that in there too. I don't explain why. If you want to see why Sami Zayn is the Wrestler of the Year, go to YouTube and just type in Sami Zayn Bloodline and just watch. Just watch. I'm sure there are people who have spent a long time explaining what Sami has accomplished over these past, WrestleMania was like April, right? Over the last 7-8 months in that storyline. It's been pretty incredible from where he went to where he's at now as one of the biggest wrestlers in the company right now. And he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. But with all that said, I say all that to say this. Thanks, y'all.